Would I wish I could move my limbs? I dream about moving my limbs almost every night. Of course I would love it. But I'm alive and I have my loved ones. And I have the public. And I think I could still make a difference. Would I rather be dead? It's inconceivable. Just, I love life.
Hello, welcome to the Alan Film Scoop.
I'm Anne McElhenney.
And I'm Phelan McAleer. And
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, yes. You'll probably be watching this the day before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving or just after Thanksgiving.
And we decided to do something very special for Thanksgiving this year.
Yes.
One of the very earliest episodes of our podcast, we had the honor of sitting down with Dennis Prager at Dennis Prager's home and having a Thanksgiving episode. And obviously we're shouting out all kinds of love and everything good that could possibly come Dennis's way. Please God, he will be back with us very soon. But we had this amazing episode. And I think we were thinking about Thanksgiving, we were remembering this episode and remembering the fact that, and I think we played it just the other day, that Denis, who wrote obviously a famous book about happiness, which by the way, everyone should go ahead and buy that, by the way. Everyone should go ahead and buy that.
Happiness and gratitude. Happiness
is a serious problem, as Denis said, and happiness and gratitude. And he is still a happy and grateful man, despite the fact that he's now a quadriplegic. But hopefully, please God, something will change there. But he is happy to be alive. And I think that that's really an inspiring message. And
do you remember, let's just play that little clip of Dennis being interviewed.
By
Marissa, straight from PragerU. And him talking about how there's still enormous value in his life, even though he's severely injured. Let's play that.
And I'm thrilled to be alive. We are all our mind and our ability to communicate. Would I wish I could move my limbs? I dream about moving my limbs almost every night. Of course I would love it. But I'm alive and I have my loved ones. And I have the public. And I think I could still make a difference. Would I rather be dead? It's inconceivable. Just, I love life. And I love so many people. And of course, I love my wife and my kids and my grandkids.
So what we're going to do now is we're actually, without kind of much comment, we're going to play the Thanksgiving episode that we recorded with Dennis a few years ago. And again, we are very grateful to all of you. We're very grateful to all of our supporters.
Very thankful.
Please keep on giving. It makes, obviously, everything that we do is made possible by you. And we are very, very grateful. Thank you.
And we have a little announcement coming up. We're going to tease a little announcement. We have a
very nice announcement that we can't make just yet, but we will be making very soon. Thank you. We are joined today by our very dear and very special and great friend, Dennis Prager.
That's true. And I'm honored to be your dear friend.
Thank you very much. And I think it's unbelievably fortuitous, and we are very grateful that we get our first Thanksgiving episode of the Anne and Phelan Scoop with Dennis Prager, who is famous for gratitude and thankfulness. And
I'm very happy to hear that I'm famous for that.
You were famous for that.
Because it's sort of a lifelong obsession.
Yes.
Gratitude is the mother of goodness and happiness. That's how powerful it is. You can't be happy if you're not grateful, and you can't be good if you're not grateful. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So this is a big, so Thanksgiving.
That's why I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and we're going to talk more about that. But first we want to introduce the great Dennis Prager.
Everyone, I'm sure, knows who Dennis is.
Yes.
But we're going to introduce Dennis.
I think there's a percentage of the population that doesn't know me.
Well,
I'm at peace with that.
I love it. Well, I love your biography. I just love your biography.
And this biography is from a very reliable source called Wikipedia.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So,
don't use Wikipedia.
No. So,
Go on.
No. Of course, I wouldn't dream of sourcing my information from Wikipedia. No, but we'll look upon this as kind of a Rorschach's test, because
I got
it's
it.
going to come.
Yeah,
So,
does any of this, do you recognize any of this about yourself?
according to this, Dennis Prager was
That's so true.
born in New York,
I think
Correct.
that's true. Correct.
was raised in a, quote, modern Orthodox Jewish home.
Correct.
I must ask you what a modern Orthodox Jewish home is.
Ask me anything.
After you left graduate school, you left modern Orthodoxy, but retained many traditional Jewish practices.
Right.
Yes. So we know this about you. I just watched No Safe Spaces. When you in 1969, when you were studying, you went to Soviet Russia.
He was asked, I think this is an incredible thing, by the way, and I know
It
I've heard
is
this before,
incredible.
that he got, I think it was, you had what a great thing to happen to a young person. So you were asked,
It's an unbelievable thing that at 21,
21.
the Israeli government somehow found out about me. And because I knew Russian and Hebrew, I studied Russian in college and knew Hebrew from Jewish
So
school.
you speak Russian.
Yes,
That's marvelous.
it is marvelous. I'm telling you, languages, it's the best.
Oh my God.
I love languages. Anyway, I loved Russian. There's no language like Russian. It is so... Here, I'll just give you one example.
Please.
The richness, I studied French too. French is like the opposite. It is gentil langue. But Russian, here. So, crime and punishment in Russian, which was in Russian. Naказание и преступление и наказание. I mean, come on, give me a break. There's nothing like that.
That's great.
Right? That's rich.
So Dennis got to go to Russia.
So they sent me to the Soviet Union to sneak in Jewish religious items to Jews because they were forbidden, just as Christian items were forbidden to Christians. And somewhat on the more dangerous side, to smuggle out names of Jews who wanted to leave. Because the only way you could leave was if a foreign government invited you. So these people would risk everything giving me their names, because if they were caught, I wouldn't have their names. They couldn't be protected by world opinion, and the Soviets knew who they were. So they took terrible risks giving me their names, and I took less of a risk, but somewhat of a risk, taking their names out. So it was 4 weeks that you can only imagine. At 21, seeing people under totalitarianism, and then I began lecturing. So I've been lecturing my whole life.
But I also think it's interesting. I mean, they might have looked at you and thought, this is a clever one. 21-year-old, potentially you were a spy. Potentially you're in there trying to get dirt on these people.
You mean the Soviets?
That the Soviets had employed you, and that these lovely Jewish people were thinking, God, can I trust this guy?
I see. That's interesting. Oh, that's a good point.
So I'm thinking, how did you gain their trust? I mean, it's actually...
That's a very, very good point. I don't think they would have thought an American Jew who knew Judaism was going to be a spy.
Okay, good.
And
nice.
I made it clear what I knew, and they would call me up in the synagogue to lead services. And by the way, that was so moving because none of their young people could do that. They thought Judaism was dead. And then they saw a foreigner who knew it. The whole thing was dramatic.
Yeah.
And where were you? Were you mostly in Moscow, or did you?
No. Moscow, Leningrad, and mind-bogglingly, Baku, Azerbaijan.
I've been there. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, I think back in the day. Yeah, we did a story out of there.
You did a big story from Azerbaijan, long story.
Long time ago.
According to Wikipedia, you got, by getting the Soviet Jews out of the Soviet Union, you started a growing tendency among American Jews who had been staunchly liberal to move towards the center and some to the right. That this was driven in part by the influx of Jews from the Soviet Union. Would you say that's correct? That American Jews moved more to the center and more to the right?
At that time, well, oddly enough, it's not fully accurate, but I don't have a problem with that assessment, but it's not fully accurate. I remember, because I went to hundreds of rallies for Soviet Jews around the United States where I would speak. They didn't know Dennis Prager. They just knew, this kid was in the Soviet Union. He's going to now tell us what it's like. And I remember leaving rallies and thinking, what's wrong with American Jews? They just attended a rally to try to save Jews under communism.
Yes.
and they're still on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
no sense.
or they were still, anti a president who was anti-communist. It was bizarre.
When I read that, I thought this is like the early version of Democrats importing their own electorate. You were sort of getting all these Jews to come over from the Soviet Union to increase the number of right wing.
Oh yeah, sure, exactly, right. It never occurred to me. Exactly.
Is it true that you supported Jimmy Carter in the 1976 election?
Okay, bringing up a person's sins is just not right. I've already. I can't believe what you guys
Dennis,
bring up.
we need to talk.
Yeah. Well, that shows you. I mean, I was a Democrat until Reagan, and I voted for Jimmy Carter the first time. I made a mistake. But look, a New York Jew, you're going to be a Democrat. As I tell people, on my birth certificate, it had my name, the date, sex, and party affiliation. Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
It had male. But now here's the thing. According to the left, you cannot change party affiliation, but you can change sex.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Extraordinary.
So, you're now the host of the Dennis Prager Show.
Right.
How long have you been?
37 years. I can't believe it. I started at such a young age.
Can I ask you something that always strikes me about that? Because I remember talking to a radio person one time who because we said, oh, we should maybe get a radio show. And they said, do you really want that kind of commitment? Because basically, and I know you obviously have speeches and sometimes you have to travel, but in general, you turn up every day, 5 days
so
a week,
you're entire. That's a
3
very
hours
is a very astute observation. Our task is to make it sound effortless.
Yes.
And it should, and
Yes.
that is important.
But it's not.
But it is not.
It is not.
First of all, you have to prepare for
Sure.
it. You have to know something about everything.
Yeah.
It's just that's your job.
Yes.
Secondly, you're right. It's every day.
Every day.
And I am on the road about a third of the year. But I do my broadcast from the road.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a machine where you could broadcast anywhere in the world. I broadcast the show from Zambia one year. So you can't tell your employer, I do a lot of lectures, so I'll be off a third of the time.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way.
It does in Ireland.
On the other hand,
in Ireland.
it's one of the world's. I'm sorry.
It does in Ireland. So just so you know, I have to tell you this because we always think it's amusing. The national radio broadcaster, because we're still in Ireland where they have a national broadcaster. The national broadcaster in Ireland, the top talent, so basically the equivalent of you in Ireland, gets 3 months off in the holidays.
In the summer.
3 months in the summer.
Teachers' holidays.
I'm negotiating my new contract right now.
You need to talk to them. You need to tell
I'll
them.
say I want to follow the Irish example.
Irish model.
RTE. You
The
want to be
Irish
like
model,
RTE, that you're
yes.
June, July, and August, that you just would love
Oh
those 3
God, I
months
would
off.
get so many more books written. Oh, it would be great. However, I do want to say this. It's a phenomenal job. First of all, to be paid to say what you think is very rare on this earth.
Yes.
Okay. Number two, it is over in 3 hours. I mean, at noon, I am free to do what I want the rest of the day. That's wonderful.
Are you fit to do anything though after 3 hours talking?
Oh, I am blessed with energy. So, I mean, I have many lives at the Prager University and a weekly column and books and the lectures, but I thrive on it. I am very lucky.
Are the American radio shows, are they like the Super Bowl, which is like 3 hours of a thing, but only is 14 minutes of football?
Oh, I see.
Minutes of talking.
With ads and news and traffic, it's 35 minutes an hour. Yes, that's correct.
But you're still there.
But
and
no.
you're
It's very. It's very. Also, half of your job is listening, and first of all, you have to decipher if not every caller is articulate.
Yes.
Number two, you can't say, "Gee, I'm sorry, I missed that." What did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You can get away with that once or twice a year, and I don't even think I do that once or twice a year.
Never heard you say it.
No, I don't think I have. It is like a chess game, a talk show.
Yeah.
When young people say to me, Dennis, I'd like to be a talk show host, but how do I know if I could do it? I said, it's very simple. Go into a room, alone, sit on a chair, and be interesting for 3 hours.
Yeah.
If you can do that,
Yeah.
you're a talk show
I was
host.
reading somebody.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Young one.
Somebody said, journalists, how do you train a journalist? You get them, the way you should do it is stand them outside a door and make them wait there for 8 hours. After the 8 hours, someone opens the door and goes, no comment. And then they've got an hour. Then they've got an hour to write a story.
See, that's a nightmare to me.
No,
But that
It's
yes.
the same thing.
The good old days film.
It's the same
Yes.
thing.
Oh, like acting.
Yeah.
What is it? You wait and wait and wait, and then you say a line, and then you wait and wait and wait and say another line.
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah.
Very frightening.
So, you've recently done PragerU. How did PragerU start? And
It's completely Alan Estrin, my producer and dear friend.
Yeah.
He just came over to me. I was on I've been taking listener cruises for 25 years, from Antarctica to the Baltic. I mean, that's one of the reasons I got to 130 countries. So one cruise, he comes over and says, people have been suggesting we build a university, but a brick and mortar is just too much. Why don't we do something on the internet? Call it Prager University and
Very smart.
just have, your ideas.
Very smart.
And it was brilliant. I just assume it's not going to go anywhere. Somebody said to me, and I mean this quite sincerely, somebody said to me, you will have 1 million views a year.
You go no way.
I would
no
have said,
way.
oh, exactly, from your mouth to God's ears. If somebody had said 1 billion views a year, I would have said, don't mock me.
yes.
Yeah.
So
And then it's
it's 2 billion. It's 2 billion at the moment. So
And
Prager,
counting.
Let's just explain what PragerU is. PragerU is Dennis, but a raft of the world's experts.
It's way more than me. Absolutely.
Yeah. Actually,
Raft of the world's experts doing very short, informative,
5-minute videos.
Videos, really concisely explaining a topic like socialism.
That's right.
right. Fracking
And everything,
abortion,
religion, everything.
And it's what it is, and it's not pundits, it's experts generally in these areas downloading their expertise for 5 minutes, and it has an international audience, and it has 2 billion views.
And one
on
drops,
YouTube.
I think one drops every week, right? And
Yes, every
but
week.
and
Yes.
Dennis will allow me to tell this story, which I really love. So our dear friends have, and I've told you this one before, our dear friends have their lovely children, and their children are really, really smart, like they're really smart. And one of their children, I've got to be careful, I don't identify any names here and embarrass them or whatever, but it's a great story. And the kid was in school, and this was a couple of years ago. Kid was in school, and the teacher said, "Are people thinking about third level? Are we thinking of where we're going to go?" And this fabulous kid said, "I want to go to PragerU." And the teacher's like, "What's that now?" And I just loved it. And he came home and told the dad and mom, and I love that story. And it's like
Bill Bennett's son said to me years ago, when we didn't have nearly as many courses as today, there are now almost 400 up. And he said, I just want you to know, I learned more at PragerU than at Princeton. He went to Princeton, and that's what he said. But I do believe that. Now, obviously, you're not going to learn botany or entomology or oncology. We don't get into STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. It's correct.
we're not doing medicine here.
Correct. But life?
Yes.
Yes.
And what have you learned from the popularity of what's popular?
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Well, what's more, they're all, there's no predicting. Do you know the most, if I showed you the 350 that are up and said, I would bet you 1,000 to 1, and I'm not a bettor, you would not pick the one that has the most views.
Oh, interesting.
It's the one on the Electoral College.
Oh, I know this.
Which you would think, when we made it, we thought, look, this is a service to America, but nobody's going to watch it. 50 million views.
Well, now, in fairness, I think the reason for that, there is a reason for that.
Of course there's a reason.
Because this became a big news item.
I agree with you. And I think, and we helped shape the country's opinion on it.
It's fabulous.
It was great that it was already up there. But what's more interesting to me is not what's most popular, what's most hated.
Oh,
that's what I find the most interesting, because
hated.
Yes,
so where people say this is rubbish.
Oh, right.
It's the worst awful thing I've
ever. You have no idea how many websites are out there just to attack PragerU.
Yeah, of course.
And because we're very effective,
of course,
and we change minds, which drives them crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the thing they most hate is anything to do with religion.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
I was going to say socialism. That's interesting.
No.
Oh, anything to do
More
with
than
religion.
socialism and capitalism. I mean, obviously that
Yeah.
gets its own amount of hate. They hate and anything that argues for God or that there is a creator in the universe, they go nuts. That's really the bottom line issue in the West. I am
That's
convinced
the trigger
of it.
issue. That's
That
the trigger.
is the trigger issue.
Yeah, mention
Yes.
religion, and that's the trigger
correct.
issue.
That is interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that would be their least worry.
Oh, they'd ignore it. Exactly.
Yeah, because you can't argue against religion. In a sense, you
Well,
can't argue
we
for-
make a very sophisticated case. That's what drives them crazy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We have a guy with a PhD in the history of science from Cambridge speaking. He didn't say evolution doesn't occur. All he did was say that the way Darwin is described in an evolution is now understood. A lot of scientists are asking questions.
Yes.
And that was enough to trigger
That's right.
attacks and he's a creationist. The guy never used the term create. If you merely offer the idea, you know what? Intelligence probably comes from intelligence. That's it. You are already a moron.
Oh, yeah.
Their brain can't conceive that an intelligent mind might believe that there's an intelligence in the universe.
Yeah.
That all intelligent people think it came on its own.
They want religious people to be losers,
That's correct. That is exactly right.
weirdos.
Yes.
They want an intelligent person.
Yes.
It's like our friend Claire Fox said about the Brexit people in Britain. Before they won, they were tolerated. When they became
Because they were
winners,
losers.
That's right.
then
Well, deplorables.
deplorable.
That's right.
Before they won,
Yes.
they were tolerated. They were useful.
Yes.
Now they're nasty.
No, here's
again.
a really terrific one. So when Hillary Clinton wins the popular vote, we want democracy. When Brexit wins the popular vote, we don't want democracy.
Yeah. We want some kind of weird parliamentary.
What do we want to do over?
And it's actually, we did our podcast. We shot our podcast in Britain, in London, for what should have been the day of Brexit. We actually shot it there and interviewed people there, and it is actually frightening what's happened. So 3.5 years after people had a referendum where they were told repeatedly, your vote matters as same as the Queen, as same as anybody other person in this country, and it's valuable, and we're going to listen to you, and whatever you decide is what we're going to do.
Right.
And 3.5 years later, you have the elites basically saying, you were stupid to have voted that way.
That's
what's
right.
even worse,
And we'll undo it. We'll overthrow it.
What's even worse, this is the country, Britain is the country, this is the place where the suffragette women threw themselves in front of the horses and people died, force-fed, women were force-fed for suffrage.
Right.
And it's not that long ago. It's not that crazy long ago.
No.
It's not the dark ages that people did that. And now they're actually talking. There are intelligent people in Britain who you will hear saying things like, it would be better really, people who go to college should be voting. Only the people who go to college. Like, people say that, and you're looking at them thinking, who's the knuckle?
Here's my view. If only people who go to college vote,
God help us.
that is the end of Western civilization.
The end of life as we know it.
I mean that literally.
Well, that actually, by the way, can I just say, is an incredibly nice cute little segue there into your wonderful documentary that has just come out, and that is available now around the country. And you're going to let us find out how we can see it, how people who are listening to the podcast.
Let's watch the trailer.
We'll watch the trailer first.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you.
You are not listening. I want your job to be taken from you.
A protest has turned violent at California, Berkeley.
This is why we're fighting for the soul of America.
You should be able to share ideas without fear of being fired from your job or shouted down.
You are not to be heard. This is one of the few things one could say we have no precedent for in the United States.
You have the right to remain silent.
The only way we separate the good ideas from the bad ideas is to be free to say whatever we want about them.
Anything you say will be used against you.
There's no free speech for fascists.
Your posts on Facebook, Twitter, and social media will be saved to shame you.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars.
Anything you say that we don't like will be used to shut you up. You can't be funny.
It's creating an atmosphere of fear and repression, and it's gonna bust.
You cannot think differently.
It makes it difficult for you to learn from other people.
Isn't it spooky we're having this discussion?
You can't challenge us.
Kids grew up dipped in Purell, playing soccer games where they never kept score.
There is no debate.
The type of diversity that they hate is diversity of thought.
We reserve the right to be offended by everything.
No university should ever create a safe space. You're not going to protect people, and so the best you can do is to make them strong.
It bothers me for the young people who are being deprived of anything that could open their minds.
You have the right to remain silent.
So how can
Well, that gives you an idea of the film. The film is No Safe Spaces. Adam Carolla and I are in it, but many, many others are as well. And I will tell you, I have no embarrassment. It is a great film.
Yes.
And I am not the reason, so I therefore can say it. It is not great because I'm in it. I am in a great film. That is how I view it.
Well, that's...
And I'm not a Mr. Humble. I'm just being totally candid. They did something magnificent. I didn't expect it to be this good. I've seen it 6 times, and I've been riveted every time. That is how interesting this film is. But it's scary. That is correct.
It is really
but
scary.
Thank God, because of Adam and on occasion me, but mostly Adam, you will even laugh.
Yes.
So it really is a great film. It's got every emotion.
Yeah.
And it's intellectually oriented.
Yes.
You know, it gives your mind something to think about. The suppression of free speech on campuses is unprecedented in American history. Unprecedented. There was only one thing all Americans agreed on. I may not agree with you, but I'll fight for your right to say it.
Yes.
That was an American motto like the national anthem.
Yeah.
And that's not the case any longer. This is a wake-up call. I view the film as a wake-up call to America.
Because actually, I was thinking on the way over here about what to say and what to ask you about the documentary. And actually, the question is obviously how do we solve this? And by the way, I'll tell you, our very good first step is for people to watch this documentary.
That's right.
And get young people to watch this documentary.
Yes.
Really importantly,
Pay them
and
if you have to.
Yeah, exactly. And have this shown in colleges and have young people watch it.
Colleges?
And everywhere.
I must tell you, right now you say, what would you dream for?
Yes.
I have a lot of dreams. I think number one is that this be shown on all college campuses.
Yes.
This would upset the apple cart.
Yeah. Because those stories, I mean, I think the stories at
Did
the
you
very
have apple
central...
carts in Ireland? I mean, I'm just thinking about the metaphor. Was it?
I don't think we have apple carts.
So do you use the phrase "upset the apple cart"?
We've heard of the upset the apple cart.
Yeah, but you didn't use it back in the motherland.
No,
I think I might have. I think it might be a British.
Yeah.
Might be a British
I was just thinking of it because I never saw an apple cart myself. And here I'm saying upset the apple cart, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that about?
No, I
wish they'd blow up. Well, if it's an apple
I have
cart,
a folk memory of
they need
apple
to blow
carts.
up the apple cart in terms of what's happening on the college campuses. They
See,
need to,
you're one of the few people I could do this with. This is the joy of being with you guys. We could spend the next hour on apple carts.
Oh no,
just on the apple cart.
We could. Yeah. And you shouldn't shut the stable door after the horse has eaten the apples from the apple
That is
cart.
so true, and that's a famous saying.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, right.
The horse might did the apple cart slip on the spilt milk?
Please stop. Please stop.
There's no use crying over it.
I got him going. I love it.
No, it's all over. I'm putting an end to this. I'm putting a stop to this. So basically,
They might edit this out.
No.
Don't let them.
No. So basically, this is a this is like the first start that needs to happen is people need to watch this documentary.
That's right.
Because
So they should go to
really
nosafespaces.com.
Yes,
They'll know where it's playing.
Yeah.
Nosafespaces.com.
We'll put that
Thank you.
website up
Thank
on
you.
the
Right.
site as well and on screen here. And I'm just thinking about, to go kind of we're going in lots of different directions today. How we first met. I'm trying to work out how
did we first meet?
So my theory, I feel like.
Were you in prison and I bailed you out or something? No, that was not you.
That was another person with.
There's another film. I know a lot of films.
Yeah. I think you interviewed us for something.
Frack Nation, no?
For Frack Nation.
Oh God, I fell in love with you. That's right.
And I do think you
I still think that is one of the great videos. It is so devastating, and I laughed. To get people to laugh
very important.
It's so
Yeah, yes, no, it is.
Do you sing in Frack Nation?
No, that's
No.
mind your own business,
That's mind your own
which is
business.
laughable.
That's it, through Frack Nation. That's how we met.
And
So you
you-
came on my radio show.
And here's what happened on the radio show, which, by the way, is one of the, so we went on the radio show, and Dennis is completely right. He was really, really, really nice to us. And I remember what you said, that you said, look, I get books, I get films, I'm meant to review them. And, like I have a limited number of hours in a day, so I usually watch, I'd watch 10 minutes. I'll do my best. I'm not going to lie about what I have and haven't seen. But but in our case, he watched the whole of Frack Nation.
I did.
And you
Even
did,
though you had
and
work
you-
to do.
and you had work to do, and it meant you
No,
stayed up
obviously,
late because you had
yeah.
a flight or something. And it was, anyway, you'd gone to all that. And then you said, we had this lovely interview, this fabulous interview. And then you said, I love you guys. I love you. We're friends now. We're going to be friends forever. And I sort of sat there thinking, because we didn't know you, and I was thinking, oh, all right, it's one of the, people say that, love you, that kind of love you, darling,
Right.
It's actually
It's like,
whatever.
let's have lunch.
And then we basically finished the interview, and then you said, so when are we going out for dinner? And we did come out for
Yeah,
dinner.
no,
and we did come here
I
to your
knew
home.
you. I knew you guys were terrific from the get-go.
It's really kind.
And it took my wife a while.
Yeah.
For you to realize she was
but,
terrific. Yes.
No.
For her to realize I was terrific.
I think, yes, I think that is correct.
I should explain that we are here in Dennis.
We are here, by the
beautiful
way.
studio, our beautiful office,
Very
with his
kindly.
beautiful wife.
And we have
That's
a
right. I got,
behind the
and,
camera.
and beautiful dogs.
and beautiful dogs.
Yes.
And we are very, very, very grateful again.
Beautiful
And we're gonna
cigar boxes.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, you can smoke anytime you like on our podcast.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
for
you.
any of these, what are they?
Marty, but you cannot smoke on Facebook, is that right?
It's amazing. I've done about 105. One of the things I do for PragerU
Fireside
is a
chat.
weekly fireside chat, which also has about 700,000 views a week, but it's all over the world.
Nice.
I mean, literally all over the world.
course.
I asked them to count up the number of countries, and it's almost all young people, have sent in questions. 52. That's sent in questions. There must be 100 countries where people watch it. And this is the chair I'm in.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the fire
anyway,
is on.
so for the first 40 or so, I smoked my cigar. And then we find Facebook doesn't allow it to be advertised if I smoke a cigar. This is such a farce. Yeah. It's like I'm corrupting the youth. I mean, when I think of what they get, to take a 5-year-old to a
Transgender.
Yeah, no, not forget trans. It's what is the word that they drag?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. So a drag queen reading, that's fine. But they should see an adult smoke a cigar. That's corrupting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask a practical question? 'Cause
Yeah.
you have the fireside chat. We are, by the way, in Southern California, where on occasion it's quite warm. How do you manage that? Do you always light the fire?
I always light the fire and keep the room freezing.
Keep the room freezing.
Yes, it works out perfectly.
Because we are in.
So you
California, where they
would
have air
not
conditioning.
know. It's right. You would not know if
you're not in the North
if it was
Pole.
July or December. That's right. Or I'm not in the North Pole. That's
Well,
exactly
you see,
right.
The thing is, we live by the beach and we don't have air conditioning.
No, we don't.
I-
It's the fireplace
Yeah,
thing. No, and
I couldn't
I'm
handle
thinking,
that.
yeah, we're gonna-
Even near the beach, I hate heat.
Oh, you hate heat?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
All right.
But you were brought up in New York.
Yes, and it's not hot.
It's hot in the
summer,
summer.
Oh, I got out of New York in the summer.
Where did you go in the summer?
To all through my youth, I went to summer camp in the Pocono Mountains, and it was freezing.
I've seen those
actually.
movies.
We've seen those movies.
Dirty Dancing.
Is that where you went?
Oh, is that where it takes
Oh, yeah.
place?
That's where it is.
Oh my God!
seen
Now
that?
I'll watch
Young,
it.
callow youth.
Yes,
And she
I
goes
went.
there and all
Do you know, life is so different. Do you know that I went to summer camp from the age of 5? Now, this is going to blow your mind. It was a sleepaway camp, 8 weeks at the age of 5.
without seeing your mother.
No, they came up once.
And did you cry all night?
Only when they came.
Don't say that. He didn't say that. Seriously though, the first night on your own and you're 5, were you not crying in the bed?
No.
Did you go with like your best friend?
No. I'm almost the same person I was at 5 in many ways, which is for good and bad. But I was always Mr. Independent, and my home was not a lovey-dovey home. So it wasn't like I missed my mother's hugs, because there weren't that many to begin with. And I loved my mother, and everything is fine, and may she rest in peace, and she is resting in peace, I'm sure. But there was not much to miss,
All right.
to be perfectly honest. We were so young. I'm going to be really open here. We were so young. There were boys and girls in the same bunk.
Oh yeah.
That's how innocent we were.
Bunk.
In the same bunk,
right.
physically, and it meant nothing at 5. Nothing.
Yeah, of course not.
And here's the killer. There was a BM chart. Bowel movement.
Oh no.
That is how young I was.
Hang on, who's filling in the BM chart?
I assume the counselor, or maybe they trusted the kid, but I'm not sure we could read.
Why do people need to have a BM chart?
Oh, I don't know, but I remember that.
Is that a Jewish thing?
I'm gonna
look. You know what? It might be. I never thought of that. That is hilarious. I want to find out if there are 5-year-olds at camp in Ireland. I'm going to check if there's a BM chart.
Okay. Out there, if you are Christian and went to, or secular and went to a camp at 5,
a Gentile,
was there a BM chart?
Yeah.
You hear about neurotic Jewish mothers.
Yes. No. It may well have been a function of neurotic Jewish mothers.
Having the bowel movement.
No. It was only at 5. It was only when we were 5.
So moving on from that, we met Dennis through Frack Nation. That's how we met.
Right.
And then everything we've done since, you have been a fan of, including being at Ferguson. You were
I love you guys. Let me say a word about the two of you. See,
please do.
All right, it's obvious. I will. It's obvious. You're alive. You're fun to be with. All these good things, and you do great work. But the thing that I most admire, as opposed to just like and love about you, is your courage. Because courage is the rarest of the good qualities. And that's what you guys have.
That's really kind. That's really kind.
Well, you know what? It isn't kind. It's just accurate. Maybe I'm kind to be accurate, but it's the accuracy more important than the kindness.
Well, I really appreciate that. And we are very, very grateful to you
for
everything that you've done. He was in the front row. He came to Ferguson.
That's right.
He had it in Los Angeles.
That had a big impact on me, that Ferguson evening.
And he was in the front
row. It enables me to say with authority what happened.
Yeah.
You made it possible with that play. I wasn't going to read the whole transcript.
That was the reason I did it, was so that
people
could say, oh, now I know that Michael
when
Brown
President Obama would mention Ferguson as a code word for police racism, I would say that's dishonest. And now I know it is, thanks to your play.
And that's why nine actors walked out during rehearsals, because it was honest, because it was...
Isn't that astonishing?
If it had been a lie, if it had been fiction, they would have stayed. If I'd have written a fictional play that showed Michael Brown to be a criminal, they'd have
When
stayed.
did they walk out? Near
four or five walked out in the first rehearsal, and then they one by one they dropped. The last guy dropped on a Saturday morning, and I must read the email out. Actually, I must read it on the next podcast. This guy, I'm standing here, I'm a waiter at a bar mitzvah in LA, and I'm writing the hardest email I've ever had to write, and it's just, and I don't care about him, actually. I do not care about his angst. And this email is, I cannot be part of this in all good conscience. And
but I would love to ask the guy, why does your conscience not allow you to portray what happened?
What actually happened.
You didn't add a word.
Yes. And in fact, the words you're using are the words of an African American who actually saw what happened.
I should explain. The Ferguson play is the verbatim. It's a thing called verbatim theatre, where you only use the words from the transcripts.
Correct.
So we got the grand jury transcripts, 5,000 pages, boiled it down to an hour and a half of the last couple of hours of Michael Brown's life
from the witnesses who were there and saw it.
Yeah.
So it is extraordinary that they walked out. Amazing.
So, yes, so we still have that myth of, what is it? Hands up, don't shoot. It's all a myth. It's like, if you like your doctor, you can keep him.
Oh yeah. Bono, when Bono did his last world tour, U2, from Ireland, God Between Us and All Harm, the centerpiece of it, somebody bought us tickets. I would never pay for a ticket to go to see U2. Sorry, I just can't listen to the guy. The centerpiece of that whole thing was him walking along a stage like this. Hands up, don't shoot.
Oh, wow.
And he did that. In every country around the world.
Pounder-in-chief.
Wow. Yeah. By the way, what was that phrase you used? God with us and what?
God between us and all harm.
God between us and?
All harm.
No harm?
All harm. God between us and all harm.
What does that mean?
Oh, between us and harm.
Correct. All harm.
That's not an American phrase.
No, that's an Irish phrase.
Yes.
I think it's
I love phrases.
Anne's mother's phrase.
It's my mother's phrase.
You didn't use it?
No, never.
Between us and all harm.
I never heard.
God between us and all harm.
Some Southern Ireland rural.
Oh yeah, the deplorables.
Yes,
the Irish deplorables.
We're more sophisticated. We're from the British. I'm from the British.
Careful now what you say about my mother. She was very fond of you.
Have you guys ever heard that phrase?
God between us and all harm. Magda has.
No. Oh yeah.
Also, Magda lived in Ireland.
What about God forbid? Is that a?
God forbid.
Yes. That's what we say. God forbid.
Yeah, we don't say that often. We have to say something longer.
God between us and all harm.
And it's kind of,
I'm adopting that.
Correct. And it's also a bit more dramatic, you know what I mean?
It is. No, I love it. I just love it. Okay.
And then we had the Gosnell movie, and you very kindly, both of you, and Sue as well, came up and watched the film in our house. And you had a very...
I cried.
You did.
And that's not common.
Yeah.
Look, you do powerful stuff, guys.
Oh, thank you. So do you, actually. And I think we want to talk about gratitude. We're coming up to Thanksgiving.
We are, which isn't that great that we have Thanksgiving?
Yes, a couple of days off. Excellent.
Well, Thanksgiving is such a great holiday that there is a day. I asked on the radio how many countries have a day just to say thank you. It's not common.
So I think Canada has it, do they?
I think so. I mean, we're not the only. I knew that, but I had my engineer during the show look it up on the computer. It was very rare in the world.
Every country. Sorry, hang on a minute. I think every country in the world should have it.
No kidding. It's the best thing you could have.
It's amazing.
And it's the most unifying. It's not specific religion. It could be an atheist and give thanks. You could be Christian, Jew, Buddhist, Muslim. It's irrelevant. But if you have problem giving thanks, if you have problem with Thanksgiving, you're not a healthy person.
I agree with you. But it's interesting. I was listening to NPR, God Between Us and All Harm.
That's true.
And they were talking about Thanksgiving. And basically, I think NPR would like to do away with Thanksgiving.
There is a piece. Are you ready?
We are.
This
Brace yourselves.
God Between Us and All Harm.
Thank you.
There is a piece in the New York Times just now, as we get... where a professor, needless to say, I'm sorry to say, writes, it's so convoluted I can't even fully summarize it. But basically it is that giving thanks on Thanksgiving is not that good for you.
Oh, is this because of the genocide?
No. That's what. No. We're just talking in psychological terms. Yes, because you already expect to give thanks. There's nothing big about giving thanks. No, it's convoluted. Only the New York Times could publish this.
You also probably, because you deserve everything you have, or you probably don't have enough.
You, my dear, are trying to find sense in nonsense.
But how does that fit in with the participation trophy thing? Isn't Thanksgiving kind of like, if that's his argument, is like it's kind of an unearned gratitude.
No, again, though, you're trying to be rational.
Yeah, you are.
I think Dennis is making a point that this is
so listen to this. This is what happens so Alan sends me, my producer and the guy who came up with Prager idea. So Alan sends me pieces to read, and I read till about 1 a.m. and then go up at 2 a.m. Okay, I'm a night person.
You get very little sleep.
I do, but I'm fine, and then I catch up. It's irrelevant. I feel great.
Can you do you nap in the afternoon?
Yes. No. Not on an airplane, or yes. Sometimes I could fall asleep standing up. It's a gift. So I read the piece, and then I went into the studio this morning, and I said, Alan, I'm just curious. Did you follow what that professor was saying? He says, no, not at all. And I thought, okay, I'm vindicated. Because you sometimes think, I just missed the point. That could happen.
Yes.
But if he missed the point and I missed the point and we're both bright guys, there was no point. Yeah. That's it. It's like I said on the air, I always had faith that I had a good brain, okay? I'm not just as, I'm realistic about I know what I can't do and I know what I can do. So when I was in college and I would read a text, an assigned reading, and I'd read the text and I didn't understand it, a paragraph, a page, a chapter, then I'd give it one more try. And I decided very early in my life, if I don't understand it after 2 reads, it's his fault, not mine.
I get you.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, that's a very good way
everyone,
of proceeding.
everyone should have that. Yeah. Everyone.
And by the way, if writing, good writing is about communication.
Yeah.
Totally.
And if you have created a piece of prose, is that
right.
indecipherable,
That's
then
right.
you know what? You're not good. You're not a writer, by the way.
You're not a writer and you're not a thinker, because my theory is that writing is the mirror of the mind. You want to see your face, look in the mirror. You want to see your mind, write.
Yeah. I want to talk to Dennis a little bit more about gratitude, and you talked to, because we were watching your gratitude videos available on PragerU.
And everywhere on YouTube, by the way, not just on PragerU, because you have these longer speeches as well that are really, that are
I think
also
it's very important what Dennis did say about gratitude. I'd like to extend
It's
it.
incredible.
It is
It's kind of an insight. But so where did that come from? And explain it to us, please.
Well, this is an interesting question. I don't have a full answer to that. I'm afraid how this will come out, but I don't care, because it's the truth. So I'm into classical music. I conduct orchestras periodically, and my whole life I've been into classical music. One of the great melody writers was Franz Schubert. So they asked Schubert once, how do you come up with these melodies? And he said, I don't know. They just come to my brain. And a lot of my ideas, they just come to my brain. That is why I like silence. I will often drive with nothing on. I don't mean clothing-wise. I mean, I want to make that clear.
Absolutely.
It's a very risky statement.
Out there who are now envisaging that, stop it.
Yes.
His wife is in the room, for God's sake.
Yes, exactly.
Even she hasn't seen that.
No, correct.
Him driving naked.
That is correct.
That. They're quite cool,
okay,
these
but I
people.
realize when I say I'm driving with nothing on, it does sound like bizarre. But I mean nothing on the radio, nothing on no music. Likewise, I a lot of times because ideas just come in, and I'm very grateful for that. It's just a gift. So when you ask the gratitude thing, I observed my own life. I could tell you this, like I wrote a book on happiness, and I have a lot of good ideas on happiness. And I have a happiness hour every week for the last, since 1999.
Can I just say, I love the happiness hour.
Yes, and
you have wonderful people who phone up.
Yes, no, it's a gift. That hour is a gift.
Great idea.
So I gave my first lecture on happiness at the age of 25.
Oh my God.
Yes, isn't that interesting? And what I did was, I said, I knew in high school I did not want to be unhappy. That was a very big deal in my life. But I didn't stop there. I said, so I've got to conquer. The first thing I think I thought of in terms of being happy was act it. I said to myself, anybody could be in a bad mood. That's the easy way out. I remember what I said to my brain as a junior in high school. I was in a New York subway car, alone at night, coming back from Manhattan to Brooklyn. And I remember where it happened. And I said, oh, any schmuck can be unhappy. I remember saying that to myself. That's easy. The trick is to be happy. So I realized it's an achievement. Mm-hmm. Happiness is an achievement, not an ecstatic state. And that's when it all started from there.
That's the hand of God.
It is the hand of God.
That's what my mother would say.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. That's why I don't take credit for it. I feel like a conduit of great ideas.
Yeah. So your theory is that you will be happy if you show gratitude. You cannot be happy.
Well, you cannot be happy if you don't. I'll minimize it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you cannot be good.
And you cannot be good. And that's the link. That's the classic link between goodness and happiness. Because people think, oh, bad people could be happy. But in truth, they may be satisfied. I'm not sure if they're happy. I can't. I don't think bad people are, by the way, I don't think most bad people are happy. And one of the reasons is the gratitude one. Bad people don't walk around grateful. They walk around angry.
Yes.
But there is another reason that bad people don't trust anyone because they think everyone is like them.
Yes.
I don't think that. so I have so many wonderful people in my life like you. My cup runneth over with wonderful people. I used to say, even when I was a kid, I'm a good person collector. People collect stamps, people collect teacups. I collect good people. And it's such a richness in my life. And part of the reason is I act pretty good, and I therefore assume other people can act pretty good.
Yeah.
And I don't believe people are basically good. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a naive view of human nature. You know,
People to fight it.
yes,
To fight
but
for
the
it.
people who fight it are good.
Yeah.
So I often thought, you know, I know we're running out of time, but you talk about people are not good. Tell me more about that, because
That's key to wisdom.
I
If
think-
you think people are basically good, you cannot be wise.
I think that's the difference between left and right.
Oh, it's the biggest difference. Absolutely. My first year on radio is when a guy calls up and we were arguing about crime and why people commit crime and the whole. And then finally, after like 10 minutes, I say to the guy, I just want to ask you a question. Do you think people are basically good? And he said, yes.
Of course. You know,
And then I realized, well, we wasted 10 minutes. If I thought people were basically good, I would think like you.
Yeah.
I would blame crime on poverty.
Yeah.
I blame crime on the criminal.
Yeah.
You blame crime on society. Because you think people are basically good, and society screwed them up.
Yeah.
So we are on the verge of Thanksgiving. How do you spend Thanksgiving, Dennis?
Well, I spend it now primarily with my wife's family, because my family, actually in this case, I'm a visitor from, one of my sons is visiting from Florida, but overwhelmingly I do with my wife's family, whom I love, and fascinatingly, they love me. Is that right? Does your family love me? Oh, isn't that sweet?
That's great.
It is
and do
sweet.
you cook or do you go out?
You got to be joking.
Yeah. So I'm
Like
curious.
asking me if I cook
Okay.
is analogous to asking me if I'm an astronaut.
Correct.
I am as close to being an astronaut as I am to being a cook.
Yes.
So-
For the record.
So we ask all of our guests, by the way, 2 questions. One is, what are you famous for cooking? And clearly,
Okay.
but
I'll give them all a chance.
My wife's a great cook. She cooks. She does cook.
You're not
She's
allowed
a
to
great
answer
cook.
by proxy.
not allowed.
She cooks 4 times a year, but when she cooks, it's awesome.
And you have a particular relationship.
That's the look of a nervous
no,
man.
I love this. I actually love this because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
You don't like eating at home.
It is an utter. My wife, I don't know if she lucked out or not, but in this regard, she truly lucked out. I don't know another man who has my instinct. Okay, so I'm being very revealing. When I was a kid, I wanted to get out of the house. The camp example. So how do you get out of the house? When I was in high school, I said to my parents, listen, just as if it's okay with you, I'd like to eat out every night except the Sabbath when the family would be together. They go, you mean you don't want to eat at home the whole week? I go, no. You want to eat out? I go, is that okay with you? And they go, yeah, fine. So they gave me money to eat out, and I ate out dinner. So since high school, I associate eating out with freedom. I am a freedom freak. That's why I hated communism. That's why I hate the left, because they want to control me. And I love liberty. I love it. I love it. I have to answer to God, but I don't want to answer to the state. Or for that matter, I didn't want to answer to my parents much. So I still love the freedom of eating out. You eat what you want, where you want, when you want. You have a menu of 172 items. What could be better?
You do know, Dennis, just so you know, because I could just introduce you to the rest of the world. Most people think that that's a nightmare, what you just described.
I know that.
Like, I'm one of them, by the way.
Oh.
No.
To me,
No.
it's like the worst thing. Now, Phelan, by the way, was brought up in a field. He wanted to be brought up in a town. He wasn't brought up in a town. He was brought up in a village.
Yeah, and?
There was a village near where he lived, but
2.5 miles.
He didn't get brought up in the village. He got brought up in a field near the village, and he wanted to get out.
Yes. Yes.
So I
But
think you could relate to this.
Oh, so you relate to it?
Of course.
Wait, so to this day, you on a given Wednesday night, you rather eat out than at home?
I want
careful now.
No.
Is what
I want the knowledge. I want the knowledge that I can walk out that door and there is somewhere to eat there. There's a
It's freedom. It's freedom.
Oh, in the back of his mind, he wants to know that.
Yes.
But at the same
Oh, but he'd still rather have you make dinner?
The red pepper
If
sauce.
I'm in a house where I cannot walk a distance to something
You
else,
feel
I sweat.
imprisoned?
Do you remember
You feel imprisoned.
Do you remember the house that we used to have, Dennis, that you were at up in the hills, right?
Yeah.
He basically would break out in a sweat because he wasn't close enough to the noise.
I totally get it. Oh, no, I don't want noise, but I do want proximity to a restaurant.
I need something.
He wants trouble nearby.
I need traffic.
But you're right. I know how rare my view is. My brother, I have one sibling. My brother
loves eating at home.
Oh, that his wife will prepare dinner for him. This is heaven. And I start to shake.
Very interesting. And then the last question we ask all our guests, so I think this one, you're going to be more comfortable with this one actually, is we ask people for a piece of art that they would share with everyone, a piece of art that's important to them. That could be music, it could be a painting, a sculpture, a movie, a poem.
Oh boy. The reason I went, oh boy, is...
Too many things.
Well, there is, but let me put it to you this way. I so love classical music that this is sound almost goofy. So I've written 9 books, and I've obviously dedicated to my wife, to my parents, to my kids, to friends. So there's really no one left, so to speak. So I was thinking actually of dedicating my last book to Bach and Haydn. And the reason I thought of it was, how many people have given me what they have? Haydn, the composer Haydn, when I discovered him in high school, here's how it happened. So when I was in high school, I did no homework. You must understand, for 4 years, I didn't do it once. My mother regularly said I will end up in jail. She truly believed that, because in a Jewish home, if you don't do homework, you're imprisoned. That's the thinking. They don't expect you to hold up a bank. So a crime is not doing homework. Okay, I did not once. I want to make that clear. I graduated in the bottom 20% of my class, or as I say in speeches, the top 80%. So, but I wasn't watching TV and going to parties and smoking pot. I was teaching myself Russian. I was teaching myself how to conduct orchestras. I mean, I was totally different from everybody, and a happy kid. I mean, I wasn't a nerd. I just had different interests. So one day there was one great teacher. He got $1 tickets to plays in Manhattan, shows in Manhattan, ballets in Manhattan, museums in Manhattan, and concerts. I went to all of them. I wanted to love life. He said, okay, I got $1 tickets to Carnegie Hall. Who wants them? I raised my hand. I went alone, took the train, went to Carnegie Hall, and I remember a Handel concert of just strings. It wasn't even a whole orchestra. And I had this twice in my life. When I met my wife, it was love at first sight, which is a very rare thing, and I never expected it to happen. And I was married before, so I'm not claiming that it's normal, but it did happen. And love at first hearing. When and the next day I went back to Manhattan. It's a long trip. It's like 45 minutes to an hour. I went back to Manhattan. I took my entire month's lunch money and spent it on tickets for concerts at Carnegie Hall. That's how deeply it touched my soul listening to this stuff. But you asked, in addition, so Haydn and Bach are my favorite, but I have others. But you mentioned other things.
Chopin.
No.
So no, including yes, that was off. But in your question, so yes, poetry. Unfortunately, I don't have a good ear for, so I just don't. But I will tell you, movie. Oh yeah. I will tell you 2 movies that I think are truly significant. Groundhog Day. I think it is unbelievably important, and this one is one of the least known Woody Allen movies, Crimes and Misdemeanors. Oh, yeah. That is the most powerful statement of my belief that God is necessary for morality ever made in a film.
Wow.
It's a very moral film, actually.
Unbelievably.
Very depressing film, I suppose. And it actually comes back to what we talked about earlier. It takes the view that human beings are basically bad.
Well, Woody, I actually feel for the guy. I think he got a bad rap.
Yes.
And I think there's a nobility in some ways to him. He wouldn't go to the Academy Awards. He didn't worship glamour.
Yep.
And his movies are excellent. So so that's on the movie part. Then on the play, well, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare. I mean, that is wisdom.
Unbelievable.
You read that stuff and you go,
like a miracle.
It is like a miracle. That is exactly right.
I went somewhere recently.
He's like Bach in print.
I totally agree with you. I was somewhere and I was at Aspen, and I find it really hard to believe, but I was with a friend of mine there who has kids in high school, and they are not teaching Shakespeare
of course
to
not.
high school kids,
Because
right?
he's a dead white European male.
And it's like, and I just think it's like his, whatever color he was, or whatever color man, or whatever sex he was, it's like, Shakespeare is a miracle. It's a miracle.
You're entirely right.
What he knew about humans.
That's
it's
right.
A miracle.
That's
and
correct.
if you study Shakespeare, I think any child who does not get Shakespeare, it's like child abuse. It's like it's
no. We're on the same level.
That away from a child.
Correct.
When I think when you think about it, and I'm going to wax lyrical a little bit of Shakespeare. As you get older, it all comes back. The Shakespeare's never leaves you. You never leave Shakespeare. He'll come back to you and you think...
Whenever I meet a jealous person, I think of Othello. It just immediately comes to my brain about how jealousy can ruin a life.
Or King Lear.
Or Lear and children. I mean, you know.
Basest beggars are in their poorest things superfluous. I mean, is that the most perfect thing you've ever heard?
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Unbelievable. Sorry, I wasn't meant to dominate on that one, but I'm really glad you mentioned Shakespeare.
Well, you can now finish an English degree at UCLA without ever.
That's right. I know.
And I think he is miracle. This, by the way, was a miracle, and this was a beautiful thing. And we are so lucky that you agreed to do this, particularly this week for this holiday.
Well, I'm very touched that you wanted me, and you know how much I love you.
Well,
thank you, Dennis.
Thank you so much, Dennis. And that's everything from us for this episode of the Ann and Phelim Scoop. And we're looking forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.